Every SUV on the road right now calls itself capable. Slap some black plastic cladding on a sedan, raise it 2 inches, and suddenly it is an adventure vehicle. But there is a massive difference between all-wheel drive and real 4-wheel drive. All-wheel drive uses clutch packs to split power between the axles. It works fine in rain and light snow. 4-wheel drive uses a transfer case with low-range gearing that locks power to all 4 wheels equally. That is what gets you up a mountain, through a river crossing, or out of a ditch at 2 in the morning. This list is only real 4-wheel drive SUVs. Transfer case, low-range, actual off-road hardware. And all of them are used, all of them are affordable, and all of them will last you a very, very long time. Let's get into it. Number 5. The Jeep Grand Cherokee WK2, model years 2014 through 2017. You can find clean examples for around $15,000. Yes, a Jeep on a reliability list. I can already hear the comments. But before you scroll, hear me out. The WK2 generation Grand Cherokee with the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 and the ZF 8-speed automatic is genuinely a solid combination. That Pentastar engine has been in millions of vehicles at this point, and the failure rate is low when maintained properly. The key with the Grand Cherokee is getting the right 4-wheel drive system. You want Quadra-Trac 2, which gives you a 2-speed transfer case with low-range gearing. Even better, the Trailhawk trim adds Quadra-Drive 2 with an electronic limited-slip rear differential, height-adjustable air suspension with up to 10.7 inches of ground clearance, and skid plates underneath. For $15,000, that is a ridiculous amount of off-road hardware. The catch? Avoid the older 2011 through 2013 models, which had more electrical gremlins and the troublesome push-button shifter that confused some drivers. The 2014 refresh cleaned up a lot of those issues. Also, skip the EcoDiesel. It makes great torque, but the diesel emission systems on these are expensive headaches once the warranty expires. Stick with the 3.6 V6, get Quadra-Trac 2 at minimum, check the service records, and this thing will surprise you. Owners on the Grand Cherokee forums are reporting 150,000, 180,000, even 200,000 miles on the Pentastar with 0 major engine or transmission failures. That is not what people expect from a Jeep, which is exactly why these are so cheap on the used market right now. Number 4. The Nissan Xterra, model years 2012 through 2015. These are going for around $10,000 to $15,000 right now, and honestly, that might not last much longer. The Xterra was discontinued after 2015 because it could not meet newer emissions standards, not because anything was wrong with it. That is exactly why the people who own them refuse to let go. This is a body-on-frame SUV built on the Nissan Frontier truck platform with a 4.0-liter VQ40 V6, making 261 horsepower. It has a real transfer case with low-range gearing and available 4-wheel drive on every trim. The Pro 4X is the one you want. It comes with a locking rear differential, Bilstein shocks, hill descent control, hill start assist on automatics, and skid plates protecting the oil pan and transfer case. Here is what makes the Xterra special. You could get it with a 6-speed manual transmission. In 2015, that was already rare. In 2026, finding a manual 4-wheel drive SUV on a dealer lot is basically impossible. The Xterra was one of the last to offer it, and the manual Pro 4X models are becoming collector items. The 2012 through 2015 models are essentially trouble-free. No major recalls on the 2013. Owners on the Xterra forums are reporting 300,000 plus miles on original drivetrains, with nothing more than regular oil changes and the occasional catalytic converter replacement around 150,000 miles. For the money, this might be the best kept secret on the list. The cult following is growing, prices are starting to creep up, and they are not making any more of them. If you find a clean one, grab it. Number 3. The Jeep Wrangler JK. Model years 2015 through 2017. These run around $20,000 to $25,000 depending on trim and mileage. The Wrangler is the most iconic four-wheel drive vehicle on the planet, and the JK generation with the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 fixed the biggest problem the earlier models had. The old 3.8-liter V6 was underpowered and thirsty. The Pentastar bumped output to 285 horsepower and actually improved fuel economy at the same time. You get solid axles, front and rear, which is increasingly rare in modern vehicles. The Rubicon trim adds Dana 44 axles, electronic locking front and rear differentials, a disconnecting front sway bar, and rock rails. That combination will go places that nothing else on this list can follow. The aftermarket support for the Wrangler is the largest of any 4x4 in the world. Bumpers, lift kits, lockers, lights, armor. Whatever you need, someone makes it. Parts are everywhere, which keeps long-term maintenance costs surprisingly reasonable for what the vehicle can do. The other factor is resale value. Wranglers hold their value better than almost anything on four wheels. So you buy one for $24,000, drive it for 3 years, and sell it for $20,000. Your actual cost of ownership ends up lower than vehicles that cost half as much up front, but depreciate to nothing. The trade-off? It rides like a truck, the highway noise is real, and the interior is basic. The soft top leaks, the hard top whistles, and at 70 miles per hour, you will know you are in a Wrangler. If you want comfort, this is the wrong vehicle. If you want a four-wheel drive SUV that can handle anything nature throws at it and still be worth what you paid 5 years from now, this is the right one. If you're getting value from this video, hit subscribe. I break down trucks and SUVs every week with real data, not sponsored fluff. Now for the 2 picks that share more DNA than most people realize. Number 2, the Lexus GX 460, model years 2014 through 2017. Clean examples are going for around $20,000 to $25,000. Here is the thing about the GX 460 that most people do not know. Underneath the Lexus badge, this is a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. Same platform, same drivetrain, same bulletproof engineering. But because it says Lexus on the front, it depreciates faster than its Toyota siblings. That is your opportunity. The GX runs a 4.6-liter V8 engine making 301 horsepower, paired with a 6-speed automatic and full-time 4-wheel drive. The center differential is a Torsen unit that sends power where it is needed, and you get a locking rear differential as well. KDSS, the Kinetic Dynamic Suspension System, comes standard on every GX 460. It is a hydraulic setup that stiffens the sway bars on pavement for better handling, but disconnects them off-road for maximum wheel articulation. Toyota charges extra for KDSS on the 4Runner. On the GX, you just get it. The interior is full leather, heated and cooled seats, premium audio, and the kind of quiet cabin that makes a 6-hour highway drive feel effortless. You are getting Land Cruiser reliability with Lexus luxury at a price that undercuts both of them. The only downside is fuel economy. You are looking at maybe 15 miles per gallon in the city. That V8 drinks. But if you can live with that, the GX460 is arguably the smartest buy on this entire list. Number 1. The Toyota 4Runner, 5th generation, model years 2015 through 2018. Prices range from about $24,000 to $28,000, and there is a reason they hold their value like this. The 4Runner runs the same 4-liter V6 that Toyota used for 15 years with virtually no changes. That is not laziness. That is an engine so good they did not need to touch it. It makes 270 horsepower, pairs with a 5-speed automatic, and sits on a body-on-frame chassis shared with the Tacoma pickup. The TRD Off-Road is the sweet spot for capability and price. You get part-time 4-wheel drive with a 2-speed transfer case, crawl control that manages throttle and braking on steep descents, and multi-terrain select for different surface types. If you can find one with KDSS, even better. That is the same hydraulic sway bar disconnect system the GX460 gets standard. Owner reliability ratings for the 5th generation 4Runner sit at 4.8 out of 5 on most platforms. That is not marketing. That is tens of thousands of actual owners reporting almost zero major problems. The forums are filled with 4Runners at 200,000, 250,000, and 300,000 miles, still running on original engines and transmissions with nothing more than scheduled maintenance. The downside is what keeps these things expensive. The Toyota tax on used 4Runners is real. A 2016 with 100,000 miles on it will still cost you more than a comparable Grand Cherokee with half the mileage. You are paying a premium for the reliability reputation, and the data says the premium is justified. The 5th generation 4Runner ran from 2010 through 2024 with minimal changes, which means parts availability is absurdly good, and mechanics know these vehicles inside and out. If you want a 4-wheel drive SUV that you can buy once and drive for the next decade without worrying about it, the 4Runner is the answer. It is not the cheapest on this list. It is not the most luxurious. It is not the most capable rock crawler. But for the combination of reliability, capability, and long-term value, nothing else comes close. So those are 5 real 4-wheel drive SUVs that will actually last, from a $12,000 Xterra to a $28,000 4Runner. Every single one of them has a transfer case, low-range gearing, and the engineering to go the distance. If you want to see which used trucks can run past 300,000 miles, that video is on screen now. I will see you in the next one.